Neonic Void Productions presents.
Hi, welcome to Spookocalypse, where this is some fucking bullshit. I'm your host, Zio. And today, you know them, you love them. Housekeeper and Bunyip. They are not the bullshit in question, mind you, ladies and gents. They're the what's the opposite of bullshit?
Honesty.
I mean, I guess. Anyway, hi. So here we are on Tuesday. Barbecue sauce on my titties. Housekeeping. I don't know where to go from here. Housekeeping.
Damn, okay.
I don't know where to go
like-
from here. And
I'm
y'all are giving me literally nothing.
I'm flossing my teeth.
Go,
And I
girl,
heard you make
give
like
us
a
nothing.
I heard you make like a smacking sound. I was like, is he licking off the barbecue sauce?
Yes, that's exactly what
That'd
he's
be
doing.
That'd be a horrifying scene. If you want to see it, I could turn on the camera.
No, I'm good, fam. I'm good. That's a show only for your boo. You understand? I don't want to see that
I
shit.
love that. You understand? That's the show only for your boo. That's funny.
Pineapples, bitch. I don't want that shit.
Pineapple, pumpernickel, cranberry.
How many fucking safe words do you have?
Well, there's only, several. You gotta have several.
You only have one because that's the one word that you say to make them stop.
It's for different things, though. You know, like
then just do the color system if you're gonna do that shit.
But that's too much work.
Okay, whatever. You make no fucking sense, you hoe.
I'm not hey, listen here. What I do with Michael Myers on my time is my time, and my time
Bitch. Oh my god, you know what?
Oh my god, what?
I'm gonna get that for our anniversary.
What? Oh my god. Oh my god.
I've talked to him about that. And I'm just like,
Jesus Christ, Lord and Mary. You need Jesus.
I don't want it like during spicy time, you know?
You need Jesus.
Bitch, I'm not the one who has a Cthulhu body pillow. I don't want to fucking hear shit from you.
Listen here, bitch.
I'm sorry.
Don't come for me and my Cthulhu body pillow, okay?
I'm not the one who owns a Cthulhu dating game.
Hey, that game was fun. Shut up. You fucking bitch. I will drive over to your house. I know where you live.
Okay, and I ain't scared, bitch. Let's fucking go.
You're going to be when I pull the fuck up.
What the fuck you gonna do? Break your elbow again?
Listen here, you fucking bitch. Oh,
pull up with like a really loud sound system blurting out some kind of battle cry that'll really unsettle them.
I'd be like, yo, bitch, where you at? I'm here. What now, bitch? Come on, the fuck? Let's go. God, I hate you.
No, you don't.
You're right. I don't. It's too late for me. I cannot not.
Yeah, I've done a lot, bitch. I've earned my spot. I've earned my spot.
In many ways, in many factors of friendship and otherwise.
Oh my gosh. There we go. Did we do enough banter for you? Is that good banter for you, Zio?
Well, you still haven't done the housekeeping yet.
Well, because you bitched about having banter, so I fucking served you banter.
You served something, but it's so questionable. Maybe you should do, I don't know, the housekeeping.
I don't know. I don't kind of feel like it anymore.
Well, that sucks.
We served a plate of banter, and we're going to have an appetizer of housekeeping, and then we're going to have a buffet of content.
Okay,
A
I
buffet of
guess.
content.
I guess we can do that.
Oh, okay.
If you like this podcast, make sure you follow and rate us on whatever site you listen to your podcast. Share with your friends. New episodes get uploaded every Saturday unless we have technical
Shut
difficulties.
up.
I said difficulties, bitch. I wasn't even gonna fucking be mean this time. The fuck? Links are down in the description for other podcasts that are part of the Neonic family. Follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at Spookocalypse. That is at SPOOKOCALYPSE. We are also on YouTube. If you're from YouTube, hi, hello, welcome. Make sure you drop a like. Subscribe. Look at that little button like light up as I say that. Please subscribe. If not,
What are you
like,
doing?
well,
I'm like, what are you doing in your life?
I mean, our feelings won't be hurt, but
You'll be fired.
okay. Make sure that high five the bell, punch it, slap it, tickle it, take it out to dinner, whatever you want to do with that bell. And
That's
if you
wrong.
like, drop down a comment on what your favorite part of the discussion was. Or if you have any suggestions on what you want us to talk about next, or if you just want to say hi, we don't bite. We may be doing spooky shit, but we're nice. And mints will be on the pillow.
Today's flavor mint is I don't know. I don't know what today's flavor mint would be.
You know what? Why don't we
Katamari?
I was going to say
have
something
freezer on
sour.
my desk? Something
Ooh,
sour. You
think
know
sour?
that of a cool thing is that whenever you're having an anxiety attack, if you eat super sour candy, that your anxiety attack will go away.
For real?
Yeah. So that's why
Considering,
we're giving you sour candy because our topic may give you an anxiety attack.
yeah, it's going to be like warheads.
Oh god.
Those were sour.
There's like another candy that's even more sour than Warheads.
Ooh, which one?
I don't know what it's called, but I've had it before, and man, are they great. Man, I need to buy another bag of those and keep them in my purse for whenever I'm having an anxiety attack.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, yeah, exactly.
I guess that makes sense because anxiety, like you're having an anxiety attack, it's like all in your. I guess it's all happening in your head, and you can't seem to escape. But then you have like an external sensory input coming in, and this is
Yeah.
something that's very strong that takes you out of it temporarily.
Yeah, because you're focused more on the sourness
Yeah,
than what's going on in your head. So the anxiety attack goes away.
Mm-hmm. Today we're talking about fear. And what do you may be sitting there? Oh my god, what do you mean fear?
You mean the video game?
I was about to say the
No,
game. No, 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 no,
no,
no.
no, 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 no.
The
We're
emotion.
talking about the emotion, the psychological
Speaking of,
turmoil.
I restarted that game.
Of course you did.
It's a good game. It's a good game.
It's yeah, agreed. It is a good game. But yes, we're talking about the emotion of fear and why do we have it? Do any of you out there know why we have the emotion of fear?
Because of our bitch ass ancestors.
Exactly.
I was gonna say it's because we're not
Clever.
smart enough to realize when something is dangerous on our own. So we have a part of our brain that tells us that this thing is scary. We should run. In most cases.
Sometimes,
That fight or
sometimes
flight
it's like that.
reflex.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like that. Other times it's more like, oh, because something our ancestors went through and it's engraved in our DNA to fear something of some sort. And sometimes we don't know why humanity has this certain fear. For example, the
Uncanny Valley effect.
Yeah, the uncanny valley effect. I mean,
Anything that looks similar to being a human but not being human
yeah.
always puts people at an unease.
Yep.
And I'm all
It's
like,
quite interesting why. I mean,
I'm
it's
all
quite
like,
interesting to figure out why that if they
yeah,
ever find out what that is. I hope we never do find out why that is, but
be
it's
like,
quite
what the
interesting.
fuck was hunting the human race for us to be like so scared of things
Yeah.
that look human but they're not human? Like you could tell that
Yeah.
something's off about them. You're like,
Yeah, that's suspicious.
I don't want it.
That's weird, but not in a fun way.
I'm trying to think
Not
of
in a fun ha kind of way.
what other human species were existing alongside Homo sapiens at the time.
That is, I didn't think of that because there were other. I
Yeah,
mean,
there were
there
We
were other
competed a little bit,
species.
but eventually
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
won thanks
Yeah.
to pattern recognition and the ability to throw rocks
Oh
really
my
hard.
gosh. I saw a podcast about this. I gotta remember where I've seen it, but there was two like branches of like Homo sapiens,
Mhm.
and like they did look completely different. Like there were two different. Oh my god, I don't know if it's like a conspiracy theory or this guy's actually gone through his like research. But this episode, I have to find it. I have to find it. But you mentioning that bunyip just reminded me of that video. Oh
Oh,
my god. Let me see if I can find it. Y'all continue talking.
But I mean, yeah, humanity, fear, it's engraved in our DNA. We're afraid of obviously stuff that that's considered predatory to us, or that would be harmful to humans. Obviously, like when you're out in the woods and you hear you're corrupted, you're not corrupted. Oh my god! If you're approached by a bear, wolf, obviously your mind says, "Oh, we should either play dead, run, or fight till we know we could survive." Because that's just like literally some of that stuff is engraved in us. I use that bear, other predators, wolves, mountain lions, tigers. Oh my, as an example, but that still stands as shit like that is cray cray out here.
Oh my god. Is it this guy? Is it this guy?
Because just imagine,
I found
but
him. I found him. So
you found it.
the video is from the Y file.
Mm.
Let me see if I could find the video itself. But like, oh my god. One of the videos that's like up like there's a weird one about like the lucid dream man. Like anybody who's had like lucid dreams has had dreams about this same man.
I think I've heard of this. Like, there's a
Yeah, I've heard of it
sketch of
too.
what this person looks like, and it's like, "Have you seen this man in your dreams?" Like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. So the video that I'm talking about, it's called Humans versus Superhumans. When monsters were real and we almost went extinct. And like there was like two different types of like humanoids, I guess. I'll post the link. Now, I don't know like what all is 100% true and what's not, but like you mentioning that made me think of this video. And it will be linked if anybody wants to. And I think he also has like a the podcast on like on any of the podcasting sites. So, but it's
Yeah.
called the Y Files. Me and my boyfriend watch this guy a lot.
But why do you what so what is your what do they call it? Thoughts on fear, and why is it we have an emotion? Why certain things just don't make fucking sense? Like, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, and others out there, if you suffer from anxiety, you know what that is? You know what that fucking is? It's our fucking ancestors' fault. That's what that fucking is. It's because we in our brain we don't have that we don't have the ability to turn off your anxiety, turn off the fear response. So all of a sudden you have anxiety, chronic anxiety.
Like I didn't have anxiety for the longest time, and then you know a relationship happened,
Yeah.
and then that gave
Then
me anxiety.
yeah.
So I wasn't always like this. So mine isn't from ancestors. This is more from a recent thing. But there are people who are born with anxiety, and
Like, I've always had anxiety to an extent, but it's just gotten worse as I gotten. But Basically, that's what anxiety is just the way it's we're not able to turn off the fear response. Or if we do, or if it does get turned on, it turns on and then we can't turn it off. We have to go through it before I can shut off. And sometimes it just doesn't shut off. And you're just like, what the fuck?
What the fuck,
Do you
dude?
do you have specific things that cause your anxiety to go off more than others?
Yes.
Yes.
For me, talk of finances really can set off my anxiety. Talk of if any relationship, friendship or relationship,
Yeah.
if someone says, "Oh, we have to talk. I have something to talk to you about,"
Yeah.
and they don't disclose what they need to talk about, I will have a spiral.
Which is why
Instant.
I tell you whenever I'm like, hey, this is what we need to talk about.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
I will instantly spiral.
yeah, like I don't say, hey, we need to talk. Like I'm all like, hey, I have this issue with this one thing and I want to talk about it, you know? Or
Yeah,
it'll be like, we need to talk. It's about this thing.
exactly.
So like because I know that if I don't tell him, he's gonna be like, what's going on?
Am I dying?
So, because I'm the
Yeah.
same way, I do get anxiety from that. I get anxiety from like if someone's
Oh.
like, "We need to talk," and I'm like, "What did I do? What did I
I
do?
did something wrong. I fucked up, didn't I?
You hate me!"
I'm
Like,
terrible.
So it sounds like more of a social thing,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
I also have issues with this, and I think it's part of it might be like a fear of abandonment. Like, oh no, this person
Yeah.
oh
doesn't
yeah,
like
Yeah.
yep,
it becomes a spiraling change. Like, oh no, this person doesn't like me, therefore they're gonna break up with me, and therefore I'm not gonna be able to live at their house anymore, and therefore I'm not gonna be able to find a place to sleep or eat,
Girl.
and therefore
oh,
I'm gonna
it's
die.
more than that. It's more
Girl.
than that. But yeah,
Girl.
yeah, I've
Yeah.
been called out for
Yeah.
my fear of abandonment and unhealthy attachment issues,
Yeah.
which does cause
Same.
my anxiety
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because there was a recent anxiety attack that I got where like I told Devin, I was just like everybody that
Devin.
yeah, my friend Devin, my friend Devin, because I was talking to
Fear
him.
of having my alter ego revealed.
Oh
Your
no, you
alter
called
ego.
yourself out because I could have been talking
Wow.
about another Devin, but Zio.
Oh my god.
But anyway, you can edit that out. So I was talking to my friend Zio, and I was just all like, everybody that I love and I care about always fucking leaves me. I'm just gonna be alone forever. And he's like, no, you're not. And I was like, yes, I am.
Girl, only one of us can spiral like that. We can't have both of us doing that shit. Pick a turn. Wait in line.
Bitch, but you know why I was. You know why I
Yeah.
was.
Oh, I know why you were.
You're not one of those people who's like, no, you're not allowed to be scared because I'm scared.
Like, bitch, we gonna be in the same boat together.
I mean, yeah. Because I worry about this. I go through the same bullshit too. So yeah, we'll be going through the same boat together. Because my God, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, and others, it's well known by this point because I'm pretty sure I've talked about at least once before. My anxiety got so bad, I am now currently medicated for it because I could keep it under control anymore.
Must be nice.
It's annoying is what it is. It's annoying. And what you don't know, I mean, they do tell you about the side effects, but one of the things they don't tell you about when you start going on your med journey for antidepressants, you break out, your bowel movements are fucking weird, like your body does these weird fucking things, and you're like, is this because of the meds? It is because your body's like, what the fuck is this? We need to get rid of this, so let's get rid of it until it realizes, oh shit, this is kind of helping. Okay, maybe we'll chill out. I'm still waiting for it to chill out. As you could see, anxiety sucks, and the meds for it kind of suck too, to an extent. Outside that, my meds are fine. the meds doing its job. Like when my fear response hits and my anxiety goes off, it hits a wall. and I can't get past that wall. If that makes sense. Like my anxiety kind of goes off and then it kind of just stops. It doesn't go to like the work, it doesn't spiral. It kind of just stops. And I'm like, oh, I guess that's the meds doing its job. So, but no, fear responds when you wake up in the middle, when you wake up on the morning feeling like fuck P. Diddy. Which, if you watch Coachella, those videos on TikTok of Coachella with Renee Rapp and Kesha starting off the song of playing the song TikTok, and they reverb it. They change the lyrics of, instead of waking up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy, I wake up in the morning saying fuck P. Diddy. And I'm like,
That's
that's
so
good.
funny.
That's gold. That's
I did
gold.
not. I've been watching other videos from Coachella.
But nonetheless,
I saw the lesbians. I saw the lesbians kissing on stage. I was like, yes,
oh my God, lesbians. We love lesbians.
lesbians.
And if anybody knows about the response of fear in the human race, let me fucking tell you, it's people with mental illnesses, especially anxiety, social anxiety of any of that sort, or LGBT, because half the time that crosses over. If you're
Well,
LGBT, I mean,
I
I'm not
think.
saying that you have anxiety or depression, but there's a good chance you might.
Well, I think like a good chunk of people outside those communities also have it,
Yes,
but
most certainly.
but they're not as open about
Yes,
the issues,
that
and
is
it's
true.
more like I'm weak if I show that I have this type of thing, because like
Exactly.
I've met people like that. I know someone like that now. So like, and I can, and it gets frustrating because like he's very much like a no, like it's a form of weakness, and I'm all like,
It's
you
not.
you being very well aware of your emotions and being able to work through them is not, but buckle, like keep bottling it up until you have a bitch baby fit. That's okay.
Damn.
That's okay. But like w- I was gonna go towards the when it comes to the subject of fear of whenever we consume like how we do like the horror, the thriller genre,
Yes.
things that like we seek out this fear.
Oh God,
um
are you gonna pull that stat that you pulled
no,
on me?
no,
That I'm
no.
like, how fucking dare you?
Well, I mean, I can, but
I
I'm
mean,
not
if
going
it's
to.
relevant, I mean, it's relevant. As even though it's, how dare you
No,
call
but
us
I
all
was I
out?
was I was gonna talk about like the elements of it, right? Like
Okay.
like whenever like we watch things that there's that suspense, like, and like music really plays a big part in like whenever you're consuming media, right? Whenever you're consuming like movies, TV shows, things of that nature, when it comes to horror or thriller, like music does play a big part in it. Um as well as visual. And like I think whenever you see those kind of things, then like you it does trigger a part of that brain of like, oh, like this is not Jesus Christ. There's like a gnat flying around my head and it's pissing me off. Um I'm sorry. We have like this like weird like cherry tree that's in our front yard. These cherries are not like edible, like humans can't eat them, right? And so our
Mhm.
yard always gets full of these like fucking like cherries that are like fermenting and shit unless you like clean them up. And like we get a lot of like gnats and flies from the yard because of these things. And anytime you open the door, like a swarm of them fucking comes in, and then you're fucking hunting them down. I hate summer. Like I fucking hate summer. Anyway,
Damn.
anyway, um yeah, like, but what about like those things, right? Like whenever like you have this like unspeakable phobia, like it's like you can't not handle it, right? Like there's just something about like dealing, like there's people who are scared of balloons, right? Like there's
Yeah.
people who who are scared of pickles. There's people who are there's people who are scared of long words. There's people who are scared to go outside. There's people who are scared of sitting. There's a whole book of phobias. There's a whole book of phobias, and like it shows you what they are and things like that. But like, where do those come from? Right? Like why are you scared of pickles?
Yeah, that is quite interesting on how the phobias come about. Why people are afraid of those types of things that just seem random and out of place. Because that, I mean, you really can't deem that to level that down to, oh, our ancestors, because that some of those don't make
Unless there
sense.
was, like, a trauma that happened whenever you were really, really young and you can't remember
That's
it,
true.
right?
Yeah.
Like, if there was something that was so traumatic that, like, your little baby brain couldn't handle it, so it just, like, stored it in there of, like, "Don't fuck with this shit no more." Like, you like, balloons? Nah, fam. Like, keep that shit away. 'Cause the brain's an interesting thing. Like, the brain is a very
Yeah.
interesting thing, but,
That still goes in correlation to, that's not really an ancestor thing. That's more of like, yeah, when you were younger, you might have had a traumatic event with this thing that your brain's like, yeah, no, we're gonna keep this in the back of the head. You're not gonna remember why, but remember, if you see this, run.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh man, do you know about the little Albert experiment?
The
Well, what's
what?
that?
Oh, this is sad. Okay, so there was this scientist who was like, I wonder if you could. Basically, he's like, I wonder if you can classically condition someone to have a fear of something. And basically, he'd have this little baby holding a rat, and then he would just bang a metal pipe next to his ear. And over time, this kid learned to pretty much fear all furry animals because he had this association with loud noises hitting a metal pipe.
Oh, this poor
I
baby.
think this person's still alive, and to this day, he still can't be around furry animals because that thing happened.
Let
My
me
So,
see.
in
God.
a way, you're like, oh, why would people have these phobias? And it's like, yeah, it's likely due to a traumatic event that they experienced.
I'm
Or it
trying
could
to see.
be an inborn thing like spiders and snakes. Almost everyone's afraid of spiders and snakes to some degree because a long time ago we were terrified that a snake was going to bite us and kill us with venom.
Yeah.
But now that's much less of a threat now.
Yeah. Pretty much.
The true identity of the boy known as Little Albert was discovered as reported in American Psychologist. A 7-year search led by psychologist Hall P. Beck led to the discovery after tracking down and locating the original experiments and their real identities of the boy's mother. It was suggested that Little Albert was actually a boy named Douglas. The story does not have a happy ending, however. Douglas died at the age of 6 on May 10th, 1925, of hydrocephalus.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
where the
a
head is
buildup,
very large.
yeah, buildup of fluid in the brain, which he had suffered since birth. So it was reported that he was not a healthy, normal child. He was described, that was described in the experiment in 1920. Um, but I mean, like, that also goes down to the, what is it? The Pavlov effect.
Pavlovian response.
Yeah, where there was an episode of Office who literally does it the best, where anytime one of the characters turned off his computer, the sound of the computer shutting off, he would offer his coworker like a mint, and he continued doing that. So like every day he would turn off his computer, and then after like the sound of the computer went off, like he would offer his coworker a mint. And he continued that for a while. And then there was one day he just turned off his computer, and then his coworker like handed out, like he reached out his hand. He reached out his hand expecting a mint because
He was conditioned to
he
get
was
it.
Because
conditioned
Jim Halpert is just mean.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, man, like that's interesting because like you do there are certain cues that your brain already like picks up, right? So like that's why people have like, the workplace PTSD. Like they hear that email no and they're like, no, no, because like it's like you're already conditioned to hear it, right? And like this like the feelings that you get from hearing it.
Yeah.
So like maybe seeing something that like I don't know, like what's a like how like a movie that I grew up like it terrifies me to this day. I don't like watching it. I'll watch it, but it's not one that I enjoy. The Grudge.
Oh, love The Grudge.
I That movie scares the living shit out of me. I don't know why. It could be because, it's a human looking thing with a pale skin and dark
Yeah.
eyes with long black hair, which is usually
Yeah.
what a lot of scary things look like. Yaradona looks like that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and like the sound that she makes or it makes, and like it freaks me out. So like hearing it, like I immediately get goosebumps. I don't
Yeah.
you fucking I will leave. I will leave. I will leave this. I will leave this conversation as soon as I fucking hear it. Like, don't fucking test me on that. I don't like the way it sounds. It freaks me the fuck out.
I mean, we did discuss Sadako versus Kayako not too long ago,
Yeah.
didn't we?
Yeah.
I don't think I was there for that.
Yes, you were. You were there for Sadako versus Kayoko.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were. It
I don't remember watching that movie.
was on Shutter.
I don't remember
Let
watching
me
that movie.
continue talking. I'm gonna look up to see what day, when what the episode was, because I'm
Because it
pretty sure.
probably was an episode that I wasn't there for. But like I don't remember watching this movie. You've been like, "Oh, no, oh yeah, we gotta watch it." And I'm like, I guess.
You guess.
I guess. And then there's like, like that that so many people have this, but like the fear of clowns, right? And
Oh
like a
no,
lot of people
you weren't here for that. That was
yeah,
before you got there. Yeah.
yeah. I remember what movies we've talked about. I would remember if we've talked about a Grudge movie. Um, uh what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the fear of
Clowns.
clowns, right? Like a lot of people blame it on like John Wayne Gacy, right? There's like a
Yeah.
big fear of clowns because of John Wayne Gacy, and then Stephen King's It, and then the infamous 2016 killer clown incidents where you found killer clowns standing around everywhere and they would fucking chase you and shit. Um like there's like a common theme with like people being freaked out of clowns, and again that could just come down to a humanoid looking figure that doesn't look like it's human, and like your brain doesn't know how to respond to it. It doesn't have to be like, oh, there was a serial killer who would dress up as fucking a clown and kill our kids, you know what I mean? Like it could be before that.
Yeah, most definitely. I've had a fear of clowns for a while, but as I gotten older, it's not as prominent as it was.
I mean, I can stomach it, right? Like I can
Yeah,
like I'll be cringing the entire time, and it's just because like I'm like, it's a big uncomfy feeling. Like
almost definitely.
I was able to sit through the new two It movies. I was able to sit through those.
Yeah.
It did help that I had friends sitting next to me that were making me laugh the entire time. Man, if there's one thing that's gonna keep you from getting scared, it's making jokes. Cause that shit,
Yep.
I still can't get over that joke, man. I can't. Whenever like they all went to like different spots and they all had like their visions and shit, and then they
Yeah.
met up, there was a line that goes like, well, "What did you see though?" And then like my friend next to me was like, "Them titties though," and like she was commenting on like the grandma tits, and like I just busted
Yeah.
out laughing. I like lost my shit. So every time I like think of that movie, I think of just that one thing that my friend said, and I just fucking die. Um, I won't. I don't like watching clown movies. Like, will I watch them? Probably, but will I enjoy it? No. I'm still trying to get myself prepared because my boyfriend wants to watch One Piece, like the live action. I've watched the
Oh, the
anime.
clown.
I've watched the anime. I've read the manga. I'm not caught up, but I did. And
Yeah.
Buggy the Clown.
He's
He looks fantastic. I will say that.
oh,
I looked at it. He looks
yeah.
great.
Yes, he sure
That
does.
makeup, oh my god, like 10. Ugh. As a One Piece fan, oh my god, he looks fantastic. As someone who doesn't like clowns, he looks fucking terrifying.
A little
I
bit.
would not want to fucking run into that man on the fucking on my quest to the One Piece. Fuck that shit. Like as soon as I see him, be like, you can have my shit, bro. Like I quit. Like I'll go be a bartender somewhere. I'll do a different job. I don't want to be a pirate no more. I have to go against you. I'm good. Like ain't
I'm
no
done.
way. Like I'm done. Here's my white flag. Like you win. Like I don't want it. I don't want it. Yeah, I just ugh. I
No, I
I
feel that.
ran a whole ass mile away from a fucking clown once because I was terrified. I've said this story before. So,
Yeah.
but what about you, Bunyip? What are you scared of? Do you have any phobias? What triggers your anxiety?
Not clowns for one. I mean, remember
Aren't you fucking cool?
look, okay, I
Damn.
went to Bass Shop back like last year, and that one lady was selling costumes. And she was dressed like a spooky clown. I was like, oh, her outfit looks great. But anyway,
I'm like that with zombies.
yeah. I'm trying to think. Other than abandonment, like most of us here, I guess a past fear I had was of dogs, but that was much younger then.
I think a lot of kids are scared of dogs, though. My son was scared of dogs for a while.
Yeah, it's usually because like, especially if it's like a big dog and you're a small kid and it comes up to your face and you're thinking it's gonna bite you, but then it starts licking you and you're like, oh no, germs.
My son had an opposite problem, right? Like he used to love dogs. And like dogs getting up in his face was perfectly fine. And he's gotten snapped at 3 times by big dogs. He actually has like 2 scars on his face from whenever a dog snapped at his face. Those dogs are nowhere near him now. Like as soon as like that happened, like I made because like I was always very cautious about that stuff. So the only types of bites that he gets now are like the play bites, but he also has very sensitive skin, so even like a play bite it hurts him. So, but like he would still like put his face like in the dog's face even after like a dog has snapped at him. He was very much like oh, like, and I'm like, bro, like a dog, he's gonna snap at you again, and I would pull him away and pull him away. And then, like, I guess, like, the last time he got snapped at, like, he just kind of got very cautious around dogs. So, like, whenever we got our dog, like, he didn't want to be near him, and he was a puppy when we got him, right? Like, we found him as a puppy, like, probably no bigger. Like, he was probably half the size of my forearm at most. Like, he was tiny whenever we got him. And he was scared of him.
Yeah, and when our family had gotten a dog that was a puppy, I started to lose my fear because of like he's so small, he's like a little Siberian husky.
He's a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess other fears would basically be mostly due to people.
You don't have, like, any, like, like, weird phobias or anything like that?
I can't think of any right now.
Must be nice.
I guess another one would be like afraid of losing control of emotions.
Is
'Cause
that a
Okay.
if you've grown up having difficulty controlling your emotions and having meltdowns throughout most of grade school and being made fun of for that, you have
That's
a
fair.
tendency to try and
Yeah.
hide every emotion you can, not to look weak or not to get humiliated. And then when it happens, it's like you become especially hard on yourself. Like, how did you fuck this up so bad? And it's like I can't help it.
No, I feel that.
I guess they're more like abstract fears, but not so much like
They're not like
spy.
yeah, they're not physical. Like you can't like physically fight it if you like something came up to you.
Yeah, but I still have, I guess, the common fear of like spiders and snakes, but only because I don't want to get bit by them. But I've had like a wolf spider crawl on me, and I'm like, oh, that feels weird, and it's like a tactile defensive thing. Like I don't like how it feels, but most people are like, I'm scared the spider will bite me, especially if it's a poisonous spider. Like
Right. Like where the venom can eat your fucking muscles and kill you. Yeah.
I was gonna say like a black widow, but a brown recluse is also terrifying.
Yeah, I think okay. So to be fair, like I think like dealing with poisonous like living creatures is that's common sense. I wouldn't think of that as a
Mhm.
fear. So like if you see a brown recluse or like a fucking poisonous snake or something like that, like it makes sense to have like that's more of like a caution thing than a fear thing, right? Like, and that's a learned fear because we're taught like, hey, these things could fucking kill you if you get bit by them, and we're like, oh, well, we don't want to die, so let's not get near that.
Yeah.
You're validating my fear response because it's a learned fear.
Yeah, you're welcome. See,
All
this is
fear is learned
sometimes.
or inborn, I guess, from generations of being afraid of things.
Yeah. See, this is what happens whenever you have someone who likes to study psychology for fun. Because yeah, I could bring that spicy bit of knowledge out about
Yeah.
why people search for fear, like watching horror things or consume horror things. Now, I don't think that's a big like everyone, but like people who usually like it's a comfort thing, right? So like if you search
Yeah.
like if you're watching horror and it is like your comfort thing, like if your comfort movie is The Grudge or like your comfort movie is Saw, um
Um,
besties, I think you need to
um,
talk to a psychiatrist or a therapist or both preferably
I mean,
because
I guess
um
it
god
depends on
damn.
why you're watching it.
God
no, but I'm saying
damn.
like a comfort thing, right? Like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like how I mean, I should probably look into help because like my comfort, like what I go to whenever I'm not having a good day, I feel sad, my anxiety's bad, something that like I want like a pick me up. Like it's your comfort thing, like you don't like you feel fluffy like watching it. Mine is fucking Full Metal Alchemist. Let's talk
Girl.
about like Full Metal Alchemist
Girl.
Brotherhood. Like I
Girl.
watched that as a comfort show. This is a
Girl.
show about overthrowing the government. It is the personification of fucking daddy issues.
It
And
is.
like then within the first 3 episodes, you see a little girl get fucking fused with a dog and then
Yeah.
murdered by a
Yeah.
serial killer who kills like other
Yeah.
alchemists, right? Like that is my fucking comfort show. It's not Fruits Basket. It's not fucking Oran High School Host Club or any of the fluffy shit. Like I love those shows. Don't get me wrong. Horimiya, I'll watch that shit all day every day. I love those shows. But no, what I go to whenever I'm like not in it, I fucking watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So, like that, like it, whenever people search for horror movies for comfort, like it's like like I need to feel normal. It's usually because they grew up in a very high stressed life. Like it could have been an abusive household or something like that. Like they've had such a high stressful life that that's what their normal is. That's what they perceive as normal. So whenever things are not in a high state of stress, then they have to look for that so that they could feel normal again. So they go and they watch horror films because horror films
How
induce high
dare
levels
you?
of stress.
Would
but it also gives you adrenaline, right? And like
Yeah.
adrenaline could also be um it is a response of high level stress. Like whenever you are going through stress, there are points of time where adrenaline does shoot through your body because it your body needs to move. Your body needs to do something. So it shoots that adrenaline up because this like if you have too much stress and you shut down, that's not good. So it's literally like a survival instinct for your body. So, like, if you're searching for horror as comfort, it's because you grew up in a very abusive life and stress is a normalcy for you. So you want that stress. You search for that stress. I search for the adrenaline rush. Like, I like the adrenaline rush. That's my drug of choice. So I ride roller coasters. I watch horror films because I like the adrenaline that I get from being scared. Because it's legal and I don't have to pay much to fucking get it. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to search back alleyways to fucking get it. Like I could just
Yeah.
sit down in front of my TV. I don't have to do something illegal to have some kind of rush go through my body.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point you bring up because I would recommend System Shock 2 as a game you could play because the soundtrack is all about adrenaline.
Ooh.
Yeah, like you get on, and I was listening to the soundtrack by itself, and people were commenting like, "This doesn't sound all that scary." And I was like, "Yeah, but it's meant to emulate adrenaline, which is a fear response." And the entire time, like in most levels, it plays this the entire time. It doesn't matter if you're just wandering through hallways and looking for stuff or fighting some kind of monster. It's
Mhm.
always playing. Like you're always on edge, unless you go to like another room that's like, okay, we can make things calm now, and oh shit, it's like this big robot thing that resembles something from RoboCop.
Oh, snap. So
So
there's
try that game out if you want adrenaline.
I will. So there's this one there so Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4, there's this one monster that's in there that anytime I hear the sound effect for this monster, like I instantly want to cry. Like the adrenaline I get from like thinking that I have to go through a room with this thing in there.
Is it a
I
regenerator?
I fucking hate those things so much. Like you just hear, like all you hear is like and I'm like, I want to leave now. I want to leave. I don't
I wanna
like this.
I don't wanna be here.
Like, can I just like fuck Ashley? Like, like she'll be fine. Like,
Fuck that bitch.
so like, what president's daughter? Who? I'm sorry, sir.
I
Like,
don't
she
know
died in the
her.
like, sir. She got kidnapped by the Granados. I don't.
Sir, we don't know her. We don't know her.
We don't know
What
her
was she?
anyway. In a few years, you're gonna turn into a zombie anyway. So
You don't have a daughter? Just have another one. It's fine.
you,
Just have
you
another one.
know, in Resident Evil Giraffe, like you turn into a zombie. Like you don't really need to get her. Like you're not gonna live that much longer anyway.
Damn.
Spoilers for anybody who hasn't played like all the Resident Evil games. But yeah. That spikes my adrenaline up. I'm like that, and whenever you're going to the library in Dead Space 2, like you could hear some of the fucking oh my god. I can't think of the monsters' names right now. The fucking zombie aliens, because that's what they are. Necromorphs. There we go.
Necromorphs, yeah.
Yeah, like you hear the necromorphs moving around downstairs, and I'm like, I don't want it. Like,
I know why.
I don't know why, but you've gone through all of Dead Space 1 fighting these things, right? Like you've gone through like a good portion of the game, not a good portion, but like a small amount of the game where you're fighting these things already, and then you walk through this fucking library and you could hear them moving around and you're just like, "Oh, I don't want it." Like I don't like hearing them and not being able to see them. Fuck that shit. Mm-mm.
I
That's
don't want it.
being hunted.
Ooh, like
That's
Terminator 2.
no, like that. Like I just thought of that because that is like so. Like you want to know something that will have me like that. This is an ancestral fear. This is a fear that has come passed down from my ancestors, is being hunted. I don't like being chased. I don't like having the feeling of being hunted down. Like that shit, like it gives me like the fucking like I went through, I think I've told this story where I went through this haunted maze. Like for Halloween we went through this haunted maze. It was zombie themed. And there was like a zombie who came up to my face and he was like and I was like, "Hey man, you're doing a good job. Does your throat hurt? You should probably, like drink some hot tea tonight, rest that throat." Like, and he looked like his eyes looked confused. Like he was like, "What the fuck? Like this isn't scaring this person." And I'm like, "Nah, dude, you're good. Like I'm enjoying myself. This is great, right?" And I was in the front of the group. And somehow I ended up in the back of the group. And we had to get on the bus. We had to get on this bus. They're like, "Oh my god, hurry up, get on the bus. Like there's a horde coming." And like I look behind me and I do see a horde of zombies. like again, I'm not scared of zombies. Like I like again, like I there was a zombie straight in my face and I'm like, "You're doing great, man." Like he doesn't scare me. But whenever there's a huge ass horde of zombies, booking it like fucking like World War Z style.
Oh,
Like
shit,
like
no,
they were fucking and
absolutely not.
I was like, "Get on the fucking bus. Hurry the fuck up. Why are you going?" Like I was I was so scared. I was so scared. Like I did not want to be there anymore. And as soon as I got on the bus, I was fine. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I'm good.
But like the fact that I was in the back of the group and there's this horde of zombies just running towards me. I was like, "This ain't it, fam. I don't want it.
It's it.
Please." Like, oh god, yeah, I was scared. I was terrified. But yeah, getting hunted. Getting hunted is definitely
Uh-huh.
that's a ancestral fear. So what the fuck? My ancestors were fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck these guys. They weren't the ones hunting. They were the ones being hunted. What the fuck?
That's some pussy shit.
That's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit. I don't like that.
I don't like it here.
I hate it here.
No, most definitely. It's just some fucking bullshit. I don't know. It's quite interesting to really think about how the brain, like I know there are studies out there, and you can look at, and I'm sure you can look at videos and shit of like what a brain looks like, what parts of the brain are going off with when the fear is
Mhm.
setting in, and how the brain looks and what's parts of the brain are lighting up and shit. It's quite interesting to see that our brains work like that, and how our brains like, cool, we either gonna fight, we're gonna run, or we're just gonna cower in fear. Fight or flight, or do nothing,
What
or
is
just
your
freeze.
what is your favorite like you know how whenever you're watching movies, like horror movies and stuff like that, or playing video
Uh-huh.
games,
Yeah.
like and there's like the the slow creeping that can freak you out. There's the keep on going, don't look behind you. That's the hunting part of it. There's the jump scares and stuff. Like, what would be your favorite way of getting scared through
Oh,
horror media?
okay. The strangers that they're in plain fucking sight, but you have no idea they're fucking there. To
Oh,
know that you
home
could be walking
invasion.
around, they can literally, someone could literally, or something could literally be in front of you and you don't see it.
Oh, I don't like that either.
That they're not
don't.
even hiding, that they're just out in the open. But you're not looking either in their direction, or your peripherals are not catching it.
Your
That's
failed
terrifying.
your failed perception.
Yeah.
You rolled a nat one, fam.
That's more terrifying than somebody or something hiding.
But I'm talking about like, is that your favorite way of getting scared? Like
Yeah.
whenever you look to get scared, like that's what
Yes.
you search for?
Oh, yes. That's why I like The Stranger so much. Because it's so good, because it adds a whole new layer of like what better way to hide than not hide at all or hide in
Dude,
plain sight?
any horror film that could possibly be real freaks, I can't do it. Like home invasion movies, I fucking hate that shit. I loved The Purge. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, and like, there's been jokes of like, oh yeah, like The Purge could be real, which, given our society, I don't fucking doubt it.
Yeah.
But like The Strangers, what's another one? Don't Breathe.
Hmm.
Like actual home invasion things. Even Us, to a certain extent, right? Like Us
Yeah.
was like originally like a little bit of a home invasion. It was psychological horror, but I knew exactly like right when it happened. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
spoiler alert. Oh yeah, they switched.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not her. That's not the original. Like, oh yeah. I saw that immediately. I was like, oh yeah, I already know what's gonna happen. With the home invasion shit, I was like, oh hell no. Like fuck that. I'm good. What about you, Bunyip? What's your favorite way of getting scared?
All right. So present to me um, a scenario where you feel safe and you're gradually fed the idea that it's not actually that safe. Like there is some unseen threat, like you can't find it yet, but you have the sense that you're not alone and you're going to die. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then make a segment where it's like, oh, here's a threat, try to fight it or run from it. And then you kind of repeat that cycle of safety, unseen threat, clear threat, running away, and then back to safety again. Especially if there's some kind of surprise in it. Like, oh, I thought I was safe. And it's like, no, you weren't safe. You were never safe.
A false sense of security and then the dread that follows. Yeah.
Yes, especially if you can build up a good environment and let the imagination do the work. Because sometimes it'll be like, oh, I don't think I'm safe here because it's doing the same pattern it's been doing throughout the rest of the movie or game. And then it's like, oh, actually, there was no threat. You were just imagining things. And the next, like, basically, the game messes with your head a bit, but you learn
Oh,
to deal with it better.
like the elevators in Dead Space.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Like the elevators in Dead Space are supposed to be like, oh yeah, that's your reprieve, right? Like that's like like you're not ever gonna get attacked in a fucking in the elevators.
Elevator.
Even though I would
Mhm.
always hide in one of the corners and have my gun out anyway. Like I never trusted them enough to like I'm like something's gonna fucking pop out of a grate. Like I already had the feeling that or like the safe rooms in Resident Evil, right? Like they have like designated safe rooms where like nothing can get you. Jokes on you, bitch. In Resident Evil 2, Mr. X will still fucking try and get you in a safe room.
Holy shit, he does. Oh god.
Like he'll camp out of that fucking door. And if you
You'd be
and
like,
if
you
you
gotta
have
come out
no
sometime, bitch.
no, if you open that door, like if just as you open it, he can hit you. Like even if you're still in the room, like if you open up that door,
Jesus.
yeah, like yeah, no, fuck Mr. X. Like safe rooms are not fucking safe from that man. Like
He's like, I'm still gonna get your ass.
yeah, and like oh gosh. Yeah, there are certain games where like they do have certain things like, "Oh yeah, no, you're good here. You're good here. No, yeah, you're good here." And I'm all like, "You're lying to me." No, I get you. That's your favorite? That's your favorite way of getting scared?
Yeah. Less so like jump scary stuff.
Mhm.
Because if there's a good build up to terror going on and the jump scare is like a release valve for that. But
Mhm.
if it's just nothing but jumping out
Jump
and
scares.
scaring you, it just you start getting startled by it, which whenever there's a sudden change in your environment, you get startled, but that's more of an annoying feeling. Like you
Mhm.
might scream like, "Oh, you fucking asshole. Don't do that."
The only I hate being jump scared. Because I think it's a cheap scare. I think it's a cheap scare, especially like, like you're going through and just wah and you're just like, ah, no, fuck. Like I'm like, oh, that's cheap. Like you didn't put any work into that. You know,
Yeah.
unless there is a build, like you said. Like if there's been like a build, there's been suspense. You have like that sinking feeling in your stomach, and then like it's and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, that's good. That's yeah.
Especially if it's a jump scare that comes from noticing something off about the environment. Like this is going way back, The Retreat. where there's the Wendigo and you
Yes.
just see his eyes and you're like, oh my god. Now, what would really help is if they didn't do like a sound cue at the same time because it almost tells me to immediately look for something. But if they drop the sound cue, they'd be like, oh, why are we looking at this empty space? And then you see the eyes like, oh, that's why.
One of my favorite jump scares, and like a lot of people like actually hate it, but one of my favorite jump scares is actually from Insidious, the Red Demon.
Yes.
Like, that was such a good fucking jump scare because, like, you weren't expecting that, right? Like, it was creepy. There was creepy things going on. They were going through like the lucid dreaming and shit. And like this demon has been like haunting this family for a while, but you didn't expect him to fucking like physically be right behind like what's his tits, right? And I'm just all
Yeah.
like, and like that was fucking like I was like that was scary, but it was great. Like that was such a good jump scare. But like environmental jump scares, one of my favorites that I like to mention is the haunting of Hill House.
Yes.
Like I am one of those people who purposely looks at the background of things.
Yes. Hereditary.
Oh yeah.
Towards
So
the
like
end. Oh yeah.
Tony Collette in the dark corner of the ceiling.
Yes.
yeah,
And she
like
just
I
jumps around like, oh my god. So good.
yeah. I love like I especially like in horror films, right? Because like I guess it's me trying to find like patterns. Um and like I like and I guess that's why like it's hard for me to like whenever I'm going through like haunted houses, like I don't get scared because I can see where the jump scares are going to be. I can recognize those patterns, and the same thing with like jump scares in movies, I can see the pattern, which is why I think it's a cheap scare, except for like Insidious cuz like I wasn't expecting that. But I love looking at the background of things, and like I love that like The Haunting of Hill House, like they really catered to that part of the audience to where like if you're only paying attention to the foreground, you're going to miss so much shit because there's so much shit happening in the background of these shots, and they purposely shoot it to where like a character will be like on the left side of the screen, and like you could see out of like the doorway into the hallway or wherever it is, right? Like they want you to look there because they are doing something back there. But there's a lot of people who only look at the foreground, so they're missing everything. But I
Yeah.
purposely look at the background because I'm all like, there's some shit like I'm always like, I'm like that, and whenever people are supposed to be dead, like I'm looking at them to see if they're actually breathing. Like I'm that person.
Yeah.
Like I look at that shit more than anything else when it comes to
Another
scary movies.
another type of fear or like scare that I love, and this might be because of my anxiety, because sometimes my anxiety really puts on the dread of like life and stuff. I love dread when in horror. That's the real scary stuff because dread, to me, dread is real.
Oh yeah.
When life gets tough, dread is, I think, in my opinion, some of the most realistic fear you can get. It's because when, again, it's probably because it's most likely because of my anxiety, but when I spiral to the point of dread. And that's when I knew, okay, I need to get my shit together. I'm feeling dread. This is not fun. But in a horror movie, dread, and again, in my opinion, is like the most realist fear because it's real life. It's the scare is not, it's not just a jump scare. You're not gonna get the release. It's just life can sometimes be dreadful. And it's just so, it's not, I don't want to say fun because it's not fun, but it's so it adds a realism to it. And that's kind of why I like Lovecraftian horror, because it has a lot of dread. Now, granted, that's more of a sci-fi approach to the dread of like the cosmic entity. I am now mad. I'm not living from this. I am going to die. I'm going to feel something far worse than death. Here is now the emotion of dread of, oh fuck, there's not going to be a release from this.
Mhm.
And I think that's very inventive on how people can use that in horror. Because sometimes people deal with that on the daily. So again, as Housekeeper was saying, that is probably connected to my anxiety. Because
You're welcome.
sometimes sometimes anxiety goes to dread when it goes really, really bad. But I love how people use that because I think that's scary as hell. That and like environmental scares, like housekeeper was saying, is fun because again, kind of like the strangers. Someone could be right in your house, standing around you, and you don't even know.
Boyfriend alert.
Yeah,
Well,
like
that's not
that.
creepy.
I'm
Yeah, that's
sorry.
not creepy. Boyfriend alert. That's not creepy at all.
Yeah, that well, I have it like that because usually, like, if I fall asleep, that
Yeah.
notification will wake me up to whenever he's actually texting me or calling me.
Yeah.
That's talk about an anxiety fucking attack. Like you hear boyfriend alert after you've been like dead asleep. You're like, like, what's going on?
But yeah, fear is a very interesting emotion and has many, many layers on why the human psyche does what it does and why the genre of horror was obviously created from fear. That someone decided, hey, let's make a movie around it. Let's write books about it. People like this stuff for fun. It's interesting on how people make a living off of fear,
Mm-hmm.
creatively or otherwise. Because fear can shape someone's life if you care to admit it or not. But I mean, yeah. Silence.
Sorry,
Oh,
Anything else?
I'm just thinking about stuff.
I
Well,
did
this
for
episode doesn't
some.
have to be very long. We've only been going on for about an hour already, so it doesn't have to be a long episode.
Yeah, I was thinking about like these notes I put down to add, and then we already covered this stuff. I'm like, oh, what can I add? When playing with fear, we can kind of learn lessons about the dangers of the world as well as our responses to those dangers.
Yeah,
It's almost like a teaching tool, almost like
can
exposure
be.
therapy, but not exactly a replacement. But
I mean,
you
that's
know,
the way the Brothers Grimm try to use it for when they're telling their tales of like Hansel and Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood. A lot of fairy tales were used to kind of put fear into
most of those
kids,
are like,
teach
don't
lessons.
disobey your parents or else.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, they do that now though. Like
me
like
too.
kids now, there's like Yararona, you know, like oh Yararona like comes for like kids who don't listen to their parents because she drowned her kid, so now she's always looking for other kids. So like if you don't want Yararona to get you, like you gotta behave, like like that's what I grew up with. Ironically enough, and my mom's white, so it's the culture that I grew up in, like that, like Yararona's one. People would tell their kids like, "Don't go in the forest, or the fairies will get you." Like
Yeah,
thing like it's always been a thing to try and get kids to behave.
and me going to the forest. Oh my God, where are the fairies? Oh wait, I am one. God damn it.
The fairy was in you all along. Is that the message that they were trying to send you?
Damn.
But yeah, growing up with similar stories, mainly with like don't trust strangers.
Yeah.
But sometimes it goes so far, like, I can't trust anybody because I don't know anybody.
Ain't that the truth? Trust no one.
Unless they're an adult. Well, actually,
Not even that.
exactly. Unless
You
they're your
can't
parent.
trust
Well,
nobody out here.
I was about to say, like, unless they're your parent. Wait, no, that too. That's sad.
He- mm. Even then, yeah.
I guess a better lesson would be like learn how to read people.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what have we learned today, kids? Fear is a normal response.
And fear and horror can be fun to play with, especially in like a controlled environment.
Mhm.
But if you're living your everyday life in fear or anxiety, girl, it might be time
Time for what?
to get help.
Oh my god! Yes.
Treat yourself. Literally treat yourself, and go out there and get some assistance for
Mhm.
the anxiety.
I
And
wish I could.
don't have anyone tell you that it's not cool or that it's weak to do that, because it's not. You're taking care of yourself. Or if it's even just like talking to a friend about what's going on. Talking to somebody is better than talking to nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Final thoughts on fear?
I guess one last thing I'd mention is sometimes anger and fear are part of the same coin. Like sometimes when
Yeah,
you're angry at
Yeah.
something, sometimes you're really afraid,
Yeah.
I
but
feel
also
that.
vice versa.
Fear and lust are right there next to each other too.
Wait, fear and lust?
Fear and lust.
Could you elaborate?
Do I have to?
I guess not.
Okay.
I've never heard
No.
that before.
No.
I mean,
No.
yeah.
No. We
Yeah,
don't need to
housekeeper.
elaborate. We don't need
Housekeeper.
to. No, I'm
Miss
good.
Okay, vampires.
Shut the fuck up.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. It's what I thought. You and vampires and freaking kaiju groupie and werewolves.
Oh
Yeah.
no! Don't suck my
Yeah.
blood.
Come get your
Come
No.
juice.
yes. Come get yo
Look,
juice.
listen, that Dracula in the invitation.
I mean, he can get it.
Be like, Miss Ma'am, accept the fuck, and you get 2 hot wipes with it, bitch. I'm
Monster
sorry.
fuckers are real, yo. Monster fuckers are real. Heathens.
To be fair, I
Heathens, a
would be
lot of
scared of
you.
them too, though. Vampires are scary. They are.
Heathens, the lot of you.
They are scary.
I could never.
I suppose fear and love do have the same physical.
Oh no, not fear
symptoms.
and not love, lust.
Oh.
There's a difference.
Oh, I just meant like whenever you're feeling infatuation or fear, your palms get
That's
sweaty
fair.
and your
Yeah.
heart races, and your
Yeah.
pupils dilate. Like the experiment where they had people walk on a bridge that was 50 feet suspended above the ground, and they had talked to like I think this was like men who had to talk to some lady who's a researcher. They just answered some questions, and she would give them a number, and almost most of them called the number later.
Huh.
I don't think
Interesting.
it actually went to anybody, but it was just like just to see if they would call the number.
That's interesting. Man, imagine like you fucking call this number hoping to link up with this fucking person, and it's like thank you, your input will be recorded. Like I'd be like, bitch, I'd be so mad. Like
The number you've been trying to reach has been disconnected.
Damn.
I'd be like, what?
It's like, what the hell? I got this number like 6 hours ago.
Right. And of course, the infatuation with like, again, fear and lust are right there. Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees.
I've seen those. I've seen that fan art. You nasty. I've
You're
seen.
nasty. You and Michael Myers don't even shut up.
I don't want to fuck Michael Myers.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Uh huh. Uh huh. Mm-hmm. Sure. Sure you don't. Sure you don't.
I don't.
Sure you don't. Sure you don't. Sure you don't. Choking you out. Oh my god. Oh my god, you're gonna choke me out.
You don't want to get stabbed by Michael Myers, and I don't want to get sliced up by Lady Dimitrescu. Wink.
Oh.
I think everybody wants to get sliced up by Lady
Yeah.
Dimitrescu.
Oh, Lady Dimitrescu. Oh, you want to step on me, mommy? But I'm not a monster fucker though, so it's
Okay,
fine. It's fine.
sure, Mr.
Because everyone thinks I have a thing for tentacles, but it's not proven. So there's no evidence.
Mm,
There is no evidence towards it. For it.
Mm-hmm.
No evidence at all. Not the fact of like me playing Baldur's Gate. I'm like, oh my god, and you have
Yeah, the fucking you
be.
want to romance the fucking Illithid?
Yes, I do. And what? Yes, I do. And you don't? Why would you not?
Cause I don't.
It's
I'd rather romance Halsey because he actually like is a fucking person.
An elephant's not a person?
No, he's not. He's a fucking monster who eats human brains and
Well,
can
he's gonna
turn
be
you into
eating
a
something
monster.
else.
Fuck that. No. I'd rather fuck
something
No.
else.
I'd rather choose the one that can turn into a fucking bear than the one that's already a fucking monster. You know what I mean?
I mean the druid too.
That's Halsey!
Yeah, the druid too.
Although I would choose like the not bear option because I don't want to fuck a bear, but I'd fuck Halsey. The way that he speaks, oof. Ooh. I'm sorry. He has a way with words, man.
Well,
I'm like,
you heard it here first, ladies and gents. We're all fucked. Oh my god.
listen, I haven't even finished my romance with Shadowheart, so I'm not done with the game. And then the next person I'm going for is Karlach.
But yeah, freaking Fear and Lust are right there next to each other in a weird clusterfuck. There's not that far of a drop for being afraid to then turning to being horny. It's fucking weird. So that's a thing, unfortunately. It's Fear is just weird, yo. I mean, Peel makes smut for fucking Venom, for God's sakes. A literal monster. Alien slime. Now, as a good smut, yes. Why would I know? Don't ask questions. You don't want to know answers to. There's a reason why Eddie Brock and Venom had a child together. Kind of. They kind of had a child together. Kind of. It's weird.
There's literally a whole like page that's symbiote sex. What do you mean?
Yeah.
There's a whole ass like page.
Yeah.
It's in the comic book.
Yeah.
Of symbiote sex.
Yeah. Yeah. This is true. Dylan Brock is a sub Eddie Brock. Ani Wang and Venom. So yeah, they all have a son together. This child has 3 parents. That's weird. Anyway. On that note, a fear monsters, dread. anxiety. Go watch a movie. You know, go watch a movie. Go read a book. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you at this point. I'm just blabbering at this right now because no one else is saying anything.
I
Yeah.
talked a
I'm
lot this
giving.
episode.
Huh? I know you
I
did.
talked a lot this episode.
So we're gonna
Right.
end today's episode.
Yeah, it's like we kind of ran out of things to discuss. I was like, we've covered
Yeah.
everything, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you all for listening to today's episode. Catch us next time as we start talking about. We're going to talk about. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about. So month of May is going to be a very interesting month for you listeners. Let's just say we're going to be talking about our own personal Roman empires.
You're
What
about
is
to be
that?
sick of me.
And what does that mean? Find out next week. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Bye.